Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Joining BJ Rains today is KTVB Sports Director Jay Tust. Check him out on Twitter at KTVB Sports Guy and make sure to check out KTVB.com. Now, here's Jay Tust and BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? Happy Friday to you. We've reached the end of the work week. We've reached the final day of prep before Boise State and BYU kick off about 5:03 tomorrow at Albertson Stadium. Hope to have FS2 to watch the game tomorrow night. Jay Tust with us, sports director over at KTVB for his weekly Friday appearance. What's going on, Jay?
My natural reaction to that was I was just going to flip you off.
Well, you'll be at the game. You don't care about FS2.
I don't care about FS2. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I saw something where like there's FS2s in on more channels than more people than the SEC network and some of the other ones. It's actually
there you go.
It's not quite as it's a no-name channel, but it's actually available for more people than you'd think.
Okay, well there you go. I was just kidding. More than anything, the circumstances. Friggin' Astros keep winning. Probably going to win the damn World Series, and I'm not super stoked about that. But
no,
it is what it is. Yeah, Boise State taking on BYU on Saturday. We keep saying this, but it's the last of the rivalry game as we know it. So I expect it to be a good one. I hope fans really enjoy this because who knows when they'll see it again. It's at the very least, BJ, it's going to be a while. Like, you look at the future schedules of these teams, unless there's some trading or something that goes down, like it's going to be a while before these two teams figure out a way to play each other again. And even if they do, it's not going to. It won't be of the longevity of what we've known this rivalry for the last decade. So,
and I'll just say
you should enjoy it.
And I'll say it. I mean, it sucks. It was one of my favorite games of the year. Every year, going down to Provo or coming here, and it was always a big game on the schedule. And you have all the and I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, Boise State would have done the same thing if they got if they went to the Big 12 and had to cancel some games. They would have definitely done that. But so I get why BYU is doing it, and it's great. But just so I'm not blaming BYU, but just in general, not having this game on the schedule anymore, I think is not good for anybody.
Yeah, I don't blame BYU. You're exactly right. Like, if BYU tried to maintain all their rivalries, which the top ones you're probably looking at Boise State, Utah, and Utah State, if they're scheduling that as their non-conference while they're also playing in the Big 12, they're setting themselves up for disaster. I mean, that they might be able to conquer that schedule every now and then, but to do that year after year after year would be daunting. And so they aren't the only ones that have written these clauses into the contracts. Where it's probably pretty common, I would assume now. It'd be unique if it wasn't in there, but if teams switch conferences, that's like the one stipulation in these contracts where that or what was it with Florida State, a God-altering event?
Act of God.
An act of God. Like, those are like the two ways you can get out of these contracts basically without having to pay anything. So it's an act of God or conference realignment. Basically the same things these days.
Drew Nixon says, I'm going to miss the rivalry. A lot of great moments from both teams. Do you have a favorite moment, Jay? A favorite play? Tackling Zach Wilson on the goal line was obviously a memorable one. You had David Moa blocking that field goal, which I had forgotten until I went back and looked that they actually got another Hail Mary out of that because they got the ball back when it didn't cross the line of scrimmage and there was still time left. being on the field right there in the corner. I know this is not a memorable moment for Boise State fans, but I was right there in the corner by the Mangum Miracle in 2015. The series is mostly delivered because when the games have been lopsided, it's usually been an upset for the most part. You had the one on the Blue 2 years ago where Cade Finnegan was getting all the action. I kind of throw that one out, but that kind of adds to the rivalry because Boise State fans were a little salty that if they had Bachmeier or Sears, they would have had a chance in that game. And so, there are a lot of cool moments from this series, and I didn't even bring up like going back even further with the Mike Atkinson days and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think the natural one would be to say Mike Atkinson, but if I'm being honest, like that was still pretty early in my tenure of covering the Broncos. And so the moment was awesome, but I was also up in the press box for that. For me, I would say the Mangum Miracle throw or Tyson Maeva's goal line tackle of Zach Wilson. And the reason why I picked those two is, like you said, you were right by the Mangum Miracle. I was down on the field. I saw, was it Dylan Sumner Gardner kind of get beat a little bit on that play. And then the Maeva play, like I like that one. And Tyson, Tyson was kicked off the team. Am I correct with that? I believe he was.
Yes, they used some language, but it was before the bowl game, which he actually got a head start out of town because that bowl game ended up getting canceled in the first quarter. So he was the only smart one that got home for Christmas that trip, I guess.
But I will say this, the reason why that was such a cool play, sometimes being that close to the action, you just see things that it's really hard for television or even being up in the stands to convey. And right before Tyson made that play, he made another play on the sideline. And this was after BYU was already driving down the field. And watching him just get up from that previous play, like he looked dead. And I don't mean like that and like a concussed thing or anything like that. I just mean like he looked so physically exhausted, so physically taxed that he was like peeling himself off the blue turf. And then he comes back out, somehow finds enough energy to make that play on Zach Wilson and save the day in a 21-16 win, I believe. Is that right?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So that was why that was if you're asking like memorable, I would say that one just because I was really close to the play when it happened and it was memorable.
Well, I think tomorrow has a chance to be memorable as well with the weather and there's the two teams going in opposite directions. This is the classic game where it looks like it could be a lot tougher for Boise State than maybe some, at least for me, than some are realizing. So I want to talk about the game. Also want to talk about the Hall of Fame induction tonight and the class that's going in for Boise State as well. But first, do want to remind you that we're broadcasting from the Cutwater Canned Cocktails Studios. Check out more of their 30 flavors of premium pre-mixed canned cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. I recommend the Mai Tai, the Pina Colada, the Long Island, the margaritas, so many great flavors, and you can get them at your gas station or grocery store. It's like 2 for $7, great deal, and bring those to the tailgate tomorrow. You will not be disappointed. Happy to announce, Jay, that Transportation Compliance Service has renewed for year 2 with Bronco Nation News, so we can keep paying Jay Tust, I guess, to do these shows, but we appreciate TCS. I met with Jeff Meinert yesterday, and he is happy with how things are going and has signed up some listeners, viewers to become truck drivers. So if you're looking for a fresh start, a career change, a new job, how about Transportation Compliance Service, transcompservice.com. They can help you every step of the way with all the different kinds of vehicles, whether it be the Amazon truck in your neighborhood or if you want to go to the big rig on your screen here. I was out there yesterday, saw their office, and they were signing up people left and right, man. It was a pretty impressive process. Thank the supporters that are coming back and supporting us, and check them out at transcompservice.com. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 13 Idaho locations. Find one near you at shopridleys.com. They got the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery, all that great stuff. We appreciate Ridley's Family Markets. Okay, Jay, we got the game tomorrow. And I guess as we talk about the game, I should throw in a final plug. We are giving away that really nice cruiser bike. Make sure you stop by the James tomorrow. Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser Bike. This, unfortunately, Jay, will be part of my Friday afternoon today. Is going to be trying to put this dang thing together. It's in a box right now, and so I've decided that I'm a nice guy, and I'm not going to hand it to somebody in a box. I'm going to try to put it together if I can. Have you ever put together a bike from scratch? I don't know if I can do this or not. We'll see. I may need me calling my intern Jaden to come over and help me. We'll see. But
I do think it's a little funny that you deemed yourself a nice guy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on camera. You know, when I meet people, trying to I can play it off pretty well. Just don't get on my bad
I'm
side.
kidding. BJ, my daughter's last birthday, a friend of mine bought her like a little tricycle. I thought it looked simple, wasn't that big. This little tricycle for a 2-year-old,
Yeah.
it was like the big wheel type. It had to have 6,000 parts to it. Like at this, like I'm trying to put this thing together, and about halfway through, I now think it's a prank that my buddy bought this bike for my daughter, because he's like, oh yeah, she's gonna love it. It's got Minnie Mouse on it. Meanwhile, I'm gonna be the guy trying to put 6,000 parts together for this stupid little bike.
When I saw the Facebook video from Camille on Christmas where the bike kind of fell apart as soon as she got on, now I know that was your fault.
That was a different bike that totally stood together. That held together. Come on, man.
Well, yes, maybe I'm. See, what you're telling me is I shouldn't be trying to build this by myself. Probably not.
What I'm telling you is, good luck, my friend.
All right. Well, I've got a lot to do today, so I may not. I've got a lot to do today, so I may not mess with it. But either way, we're giving away this bike tomorrow. Yeah. Come by the James. It might rain tomorrow. The weather's not going to be great, but they got a whole bar inside. It's a great spot. We'll be inside. Even if you don't want to, hang out for too long or you're busy, just stop by on your way to the stadium. Walk in. We'll be there till about 4:00. We'll be on the air 3:30 to 4. So you can sign up. I'll be there probably about 2:00. You can drop your name in the hat and enter to win this bike. All you have to do is show us that you are a YouTube subscriber. Show us that you subscribe on YouTube. If not, we can help you get signed up real quick. It only takes a couple seconds, and we'll give you this bike if you get your name called on tomorrow. And if you are a subscriber, you get an extra entry in. You get two entries in the bin. So we're trying to take care of our subscribers. We appreciate Stein Distributing and Cutwater Canned Cocktails for helping us with that. So hopefully we will see you tomorrow at the James. We'll have Coach Riddle post-game show as well. Are you guys 4 to 5 again, Jay?
4 to 5 live on Channel 7 down on the Blue.
Yeah, Jay's down. See, they have the real pregame show. They're down on the field where they can actually show you. They're actually a professional, legitimate pregame show. We're banned to across the street at a bar, so we will be across the street at the James. But Corey Hall is going to stop by live and join us going into the Hall of Fame. We got some other folks that are going to be stopping by, so we're looking forward to that. But and then after the game, Coach Riddle will join us. But yeah, we'll go about 3:30 to 4, and then Jay, you can flip over to KTVB and their YouTube channel and watch the official pregame show from 4 until 5 as Boise State and BYU get set to get going. James says you're a little spicy today.
It's Friday, man. I'm excited. It's a good day.
Looks like the snow and rain should clear out before kickoff. I haven't seen
God,
that.
Please, James.
I woke.
Please.
It's snowing outside. I went to let my dog out this morning, and like my grass has like a little layer of precipitation on it.
Honestly, I'll even take snow. I just don't want rain. Rain ruins a lot.
It does.
So.
It does. We'll see. The windows might be closed tomorrow in the press box. We'll see. Very likely this game is going to be most of them in the series a nail biter. I was doing. I felt like Jay Tust. I was actually doing some legitimate research for one of my stories. I know it is rare, but I actually went to our favorite CFB Stats website and was actually had a pen and paper out yesterday and was doing some research and it was not hard research. It was pretty easy, but I just was curious. And we had talked about the pass defense not really being tested this year, Jay. And when you look at the numbers, it really does bear out that way. They've only faced one passing offense in the top 75 of the entire country, and that was a Jake Haynerless Fresno State squad. You look at the numbers, and it's not pretty, man. Oregon State 76th, UTEP 83rd, and then 4 of their 8 opponents. Colorado State 119th, San Diego State 124th, New Mexico 126th, Air Force 130th. I'm not saying that the pass defense is not good for Boise State. I think it is pretty good, but they have not really been tested, and I think tomorrow is going to be one of their bigger tests of the season.
Jaren Hall's no joke. I mean, he's kind of that mobile dual threat guy that he can hurt you without a doubt. So another thing too, BYU hasn't ran the ball super well this year, but they had a good week last week with 242. But outside of that, like outside of the season opener, they haven't been super great on the ground. But I will say this: their offensive line has protected Hall, who's mobile. So Boise State's done a good job of generating a pass rush this year, but that could be a little bit of a challenge tomorrow. And if they can't, put as much pressure on the quarterback as they've been so consistently doing this year, then that will obviously cause the back end of that secondary to hold up a little bit longer. So When we talk about the challenges, I think that's where we could see the challenge for this group. They've been very, very good. They've been very good. But if we want to talk about elements of the game that will test them, I think that is one of them. Hall's mobility and the O-line's ability to kind of protect him.
Yeah, I mean, they've done what they have to do. They've done well against the teams they've played, but the teams they've played haven't necessarily been elite passing teams to this point. So I think the verdict is still out a little bit. I mean, I think we would probably agree is the pass defense is ranked number one, but is it actually the number one ranked pass defense in the country? We'll see. And maybe they are. But BYU comes in at number 55 passing attack, 252.6 yards per game. That'll be the second best passing attack Boise State has faced all season. But again, the only one better, Fresno State, didn't have Jake Haener in that game. So I think you can make an argument this is the top passing offense they've faced all season. They've had some receivers in and out of the lineup, Jay, and that's really hurt them. But they've got some very talented players. And you mentioned Jake Haener. Jaron Hall, the quarterback for BYU. He ranks 43rd nationally, right about 250 passing yards per game, but he's 12th nationally with 21 passing touchdowns. Talented group of receivers, as I said, and kind of to compare to that. So he's got 21 by himself. Colorado State, San Diego State, Air Force, and New Mexico have combined for 22. And so he's got as many passing touchdowns basically as four of Boise State's opponents do combined. It's going to be quite the challenge. And, one of the areas, Jay, that's I know you've had some stats about it, the percentage of plays, but the big play has come back to bite Boise State a little bit in the passing game. They're number 3, by the way, and they've only given up 6 passing touchdowns all season. But 6 passing plays of at least 40 yards. That's 75th in the country. I mean, there's only 130 teams, so they're in the lower half in the country, giving up 6 passing plays of at least 50 yards. They've also given up 3 of at least 60 yards, which is 118th in the country. There's only 5 teams in the country, Jay, that have given up more passing plays of 60 yards than Boise State. And if you want to go to the 70-yard passing plays, they've given up 2 of those, which is 114th. So the overall numbers are great, and it makes you think where would the numbers be if they hadn't given up some of those big plays. But that is one thing that might concern you. BYU going over the top a little bit because it has at times it hasn't really hurt them in the games, but at times the big passing plays have come back to get Boise State.
Well, and I think that's certainly the ability that Jaron Hall has. In pass plays of 30 or more yards, he's got 15 of those. So you do the math, he's averaging almost 2 of those a game. He ranks top 15 in the country, I believe, when it comes to some of those explosive plays. It's funny, Boise State's barely given up over 1,000 yards passing on the season. I mean, it is November 4th, BJ, and they've barely given up over 1,000 yards passing. That's pretty freaking ridiculous, right there.
It is.
But I will say this: if you look at, the shot play that Oregon State had out of the goal line, New Mexico hit on a big play. Obviously, the big play last week against Colorado State. Those 3 plays account for almost 20% of the pass yards that Boise State has allowed on the season. I mean, that's kind of crazy. And so, considering there's only 3 of them, I'm not going to make too much out of it. And Boise State hasn't given up, more than 1 of those for the most part in a game. So I think that, what is it, the razor's edge that you just kind of live on, right?
That's kind of one of those bingo card things we've been hearing a lot lately. Yeah, the razor's edge. So, sometimes there's been a few times where they've gotten bitten on that razor's edge, but for the most part, man, this defense is so good that I don't know if it concerns me. But like I brought up just a minute ago, the thing that the reason why I would be concerned a little bit is, again, BYU's offensive line has protected Hall, and Hall has the mobility. If he extends a play or something like that, it's going to require the guys in the secondary to cover longer than maybe they have so far this season. So that is where they could be tested. I can't kind of continue to bring this up, BJ, but I just think it's a massive part of this defense. Boise State's one of the best tackling teams in the country, right? So if they can figure out a way just to keep guys in front of them, they're going to be okay, because all those plays that I mentioned prior, just a moment ago, the big shot plays we've been talking about, all those are guys getting behind the defense. And so
They're seriously one of the top 5 tackling teams in all of college football. BYU, by the way, not the case for them. But if they can just keep guys in front of them, then they'll be okay. And I think that's going to be a massive storyline to this game on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm by no means trying to take anything away from Boise State's defense or secondary. They are ranked number 1 in the country. I just think if you look at it, it's not like they've literally played, one semi-decent passing team in the country. So the numbers are what they are. But
both of these can be correct, right? Like you're allowed to say Boise State's pass defense has been elite so far because they have. I don't know if you could do better than they have against the quarterbacks they've faced. I mean, San Diego State was 2 of 16. This is college football.
Yep.
Holding a team 2 of 16, I don't care who's lining up at quarterback. That's unbelievably good. So I don't necessarily know if Boise State could do better given the opponents and the circumstances they face when it comes to pass or to the pass defense. That being said, this will also be their biggest challenge. Both things can be true, and because of who they faced, it's okay to say this will be their biggest challenge. Go out and prove it.
Yeah, I mean, 7 of their 8 opponents are either FCS or ranked outside the top 75 in passing. So they really haven't been tested yet. So I think we're going to find out a lot about this team tomorrow night. Here's JL Skinner talking about the pass defense earlier this week.
We played against some good passing attacks this year, but they'll definitely be one of the stronger ones. It's a great challenge for the DBs. We're excited for it. We want to step up to the challenge because we know what this game requires of us. So, we're just ready for everything and ready for them to come out and give us their best shot, and we'll do the same.
Being number 1 in the nation against the pass as a DB, I mean, is that something you guys take some pride in?
No. It's really, we're still not satisfied at all. We gave up a bomb last game, and that killed our whole day. The whole game, that was a bad game for us ever since that point on. So that's just our standard. We're not satisfied at all. We want to be able to give up under 50 yards passing a game, really just hold opponents to really nothing, make them really feel suffocated. So we're not happy at all. We know that we could do a lot better watching the film, and we're just trying to continue to get better every week, continue to play.
You had that game, you had the New Mexico game where that one play was half the team's yards for the whole game. Is that frustrating when one play kind of changes everything?
Oh, that's defense for you. It's razor's edge. We live on a razor's edge, and that's what we do. We sign up to come play defense. So it's not frustrating. It's just frustrating on the end of we know we shouldn't be giving that up, and we know we're better than that. So we should be suffocating teams, especially in that aspect. And that one play can change the game, but ever since that one play, we know that we're better than that. We just want to suffocate teams. So we take that play and learn from it, and it won't happen again.
2 things there. I like the fact that he said it's not frustrating, and then a second later said it's frustrating. But he did bring up the razor's edge again, so take another shot, I guess. JL Skinner, and that's kind of one of the topics that I'm going to hit on the post-game show. So I don't want to get too much into it because we got to get about the Hall of Fame. But JL Skinner is having a pretty good year, Jay, despite the stats maybe not showing it. Yeah,
I mean, it's just tough to compare them to what he did last year when he was asked to put up Herculean numbers for this defense to be good. JL's got 44 tackles. That puts him on pace for mid-70s. He might get to 80. But you look at kind of tackles for loss and stuff like that, he's not being required to maybe play up around the line of scrimmage as much as he had in the past because Tyree Jones is doing a damn good job at nickel, right? Mm-hmm. And so his role has changed a little bit, but this guy is still tremendous. I'm telling you, I'm just warning. I've tried to warn everybody. These all Mountain West teams are going to come out, and there's going to be a guy from Colorado State on there instead of JL, and it is what it is. But if you were to pull every Mountain West coach, every NFL coach, it would be a landslide of who they think should actually be that first
media guys. Look at the stats. Some guy's gonna have 120 tackles, and JL's gonna have 65 or whatever. And
I'm just saying, BJ, do me a favor after this, okay?
Okay.
I know you got a busy day, but on George Halani's first quarter 28-yard run that set up his goal line carry for a touchdown, go back and look at the tackle attempt by 17. And then on the highlight reel play by Taylon Green, go back and look at the tackle attempt by 17.
Jay Tust throwing shrapnel at number 17.
Hey, the kid's good. The kid's a hell of a talent. I'm not trying to diminish his play because he had 17 tackles last week. I mean, he has been their best player on defense. He's doing all they can. I'm just saying, like, sometimes you got to pay attention
deceiving.
to certain things.
Good or bad, stats can be deceiving sometimes.
Some good or bad, yes, exactly. In this case, man, JL's a dude. He's having a great year. I'm excited. Two of the guys I'm most excited to see, though, this weekend, Kanoe Canio and Caleb Biggers. Like, there hasn't been a lot of talk about those two guys lately, which has probably been a good thing. But for them, they deserve a little bit of chatter. That being said, like this week, they're gonna get tested, and we'll see if they're ready. But I'm excited to see those two guys go to battle.
Hey, another announcement. The Blue and Orange store also has agreed to come back for another year. So we appreciate the Blue and Orange store, Travis Hawks, David Gardner, the whole crew over there was over there yesterday, I guess it was, in the morning to get some more gift cards for some of our subscribers. And they've got all the stuff you'll need for the blackout. If you need to go get they got the jacket that Coach Avalos was wearing last week, the Nike coaches jackets. They got all the new sweatshirts, pullovers. Get on over to the Blue and Orange store and get geared up for that blackout tomorrow night. They got you covered. Free shipping if you're not in the area for any order over $40. So we appreciate the Blue and Orange store. They are back for another year, so please go support them. This is not possible without the sponsors, and so you're watching a free show right here on social media because of folks like the Blue and Orange store. So please go support them. Tell them you enjoyed, or are thankful that they're advertising with Bronco Nation News and that it's worth it for them, so they'll want to keep it going. But they are back moving forward, and we appreciate them. Boise Dentistry Co., Dr. Chris Meinert. I got to cancel my appointment next week, Jay. I saw you got the email reminder, and it's while I'm going to be at the Myrtle Beach tournament, so I'm going to have to reschedule. But BoiseDentistryCo.com. They got locations from Mountain Home to Caldwell and everywhere in between. Dr. Meinert and his staff just do a tremendous job, and very thankful that we connected with them, and our family hasn't been happy going to the dentist since they do with Dr. Meinert. So check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. You can call for more information, 906-1255. Matt Bauscher Real Estate, the #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. Check them out Wednesday mornings. We have the Matt Bauscher Show back now here moving forward for the season. So we'll have a big debut episode or season preview episode with Matt Bauscher and Travis Hawks on location at the Blue and Orange store next week. So looking forward to that. And our third sponsor that I met with yesterday that has renewed for another year, United Commercial Insurance, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com, 229-8222. They make business insurance easy. Really appreciate them. So if you're a local business here in the Treasure Valley, looking to improve your business insurance, your liability insurance, we are a client at Bronco Nation News, and it was so easy. So if you're looking to save some money on your business insurance, please support the sponsors here at UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. Okay, Jay, we got a big weekend here in addition to the by the way, Travis Hawks is a great guy. Getting a shout out. Yes, he is. We love the shade.
What's better? Travis Hawks or Travis Hawks shoe collection?
That is pretty impressive. It is. And I met with him over at his office yesterday, and we probably talked way more football than we did business, but we had a good chat, and always enjoy catching up with Travis. And but the Hall of Fame induction is tonight, Jay. In the final few minutes we have here, you've got the I'll quickly go down the list, then we can talk about him. Dr. George Wade, the team physician, founder of ISMI. Started in the 70s, 1979, I believe. You got Luke Shields, who did it for men's tennis and got inducted before he now came back as the head coach of the men's tennis team. Dr. Charles Rutsch, who was the university president from 93 to 03. You got Kurt Felix, men's track and field from 10 to 12. Ben Charrington, the wrestler from 02 to 06. Emma Bates, cross country, 2011 to 2015. And then Bobby Dye, men's basketball head coach from 83 to 95, who Leon Rice recently passed for most wins in the program. And then maybe I guess you could call it the two headliners or two of the three if you throw in Bobby Dye. But Gene Blameyer, director of athletics from 81 to 2011, and Corey Hall from the football team. And as I said, Corey Hall will be coming on live with us about 3:30 on Bronco Nation News Live over at the James. But haven't had this in a couple of years, Jay, because of COVID. So the class is a little bit bigger, but, happy for Gene Blameyer. He deserves to be in. I know it ended sourly for him, but he's going in. You got Corey Hall. You got Bobby Dye, and then you got some very deserving candidates or honorees in some of the other sports as well.
Yeah, Kurt Felix accomplished a lot. He was an awesome athlete, participated in a couple of Olympics. Emma Bates is still now she's she's doing road racing now, the marathon. So she's actually got a great shot to make these next summer games that are coming up in 2 years, almost year and a half. So that'll be fun to keep track of her. And then Corey Hall, man, that dude, you look at some of the numbers he put up, that guy was absolutely insane. I mean, his senior year, he had over 100 tackles and 6 interceptions as a linebacker. Like, what? Like, that's an insane stat line. I mean, I was going back and looking this up real quick, and like over the last 15 years, he's one of 11 guys in college football to have over 100 tackles and 6 picks in a season. One of the guys to most recently do it was Manti Te'o, and that guy's senior year at Notre Dame. And I know that he had a rough go. That documentary, by the way, about him is amazing. But
yeah,
that guy was a playmaker. Corey was a playmaker, one of the all-time greats, obviously, to ever suit up at Boise State. And Tommy Alquist posted a video.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, that was a cool.
That was really cool. Like, that was an awesome video. I don't know if Tommy put that together or who did, but that was an awesome video. And at the end, he says, the coolest thing about Corey is like the human being he is. Corey is like one of the most humble dudes you'll ever meet. Just a nice, genuine dude. And I know that him and Andy Avalos are still very close. They were roommates in college. I think Mike Prater asked about that this week, and Andy was like, he's like a brother to me. So those guys remain very close.
Yeah, Corey Hall was the WAC Defensive Player of the Year there in 06 as part of that Fiesta Bowl championship team. I mentioned Bobby Dye, 3 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 NIT berths, 2 Big Sky Conference titles, 3-time Big Sky Coach of the Year, and again, he had 213 victories, which was the all-time wins leader when he retired till Leon Rice recently passed him. So I saw some pictures of some former players and people on Facebook getting together at a reception last night for Bobby Dye, and that looked like a lot of fun and pretty cool and happy for him. But let's quickly touch on Gene Blameyer as well, because by the way, someone's saying Graham Ike out extended period of time at Wyoming due to a lower leg injury. So we'll have to look into that, but that could change some things for Wyoming there moving forward in the Mountain West. But Gene Blameyer, man, the Blue Turf's what he's known for. He did a lot of other great things. Heck, he hired Leon Rice. He did a lot of things here. Didn't end great, but his name is on the football facility. He is a iconic, legendary Hall of Fame figure at this program. So despite the finish, I think he deserves this, and happy for Gene Blameyer.
Yeah, I might be going too far with this, but you're a baseball guy. So maybe you can see where I'm coming from, or tell me if I'm right or wrong. I mean, it's been 3 decades since this move to put in blue turf was made, right? This decision.
Yep.
And yet still people talk about how unique and cool it is, and that, if you play in the Mountain West, the field you're most excited to play on is the blue. And heck, even if you don't play in the Mountain West and it's just a general non-conference game. I mean, there are guys from Oklahoma State last year like, yeah, I've always wanted to play on the blue turf. The stadium itself, like, once they get that figured out and make that special, it'll be different. But knowing that they have, those hollowed grounds of the blue turf that are just so unique and captivating, it's like a Fenway Park or something like that. Like, it's just like nothing needs to happen for it to be cool. Like, just being there is cool, right? Yep. And certainly I think the success of the program has definitely elevated the mystique of the blue. But what a decision and risk that guy took so many years ago. And it proved to be, it defined not just a team, not just a university, but in many cases, BJ, it defines the state of Idaho. I mean, you weren't born and raised here, neither was I. When I go back home and, I say that I cover Boise State, everybody, or that I live in Idaho now, everybody's first reaction is, oh, the blue turf. I mean, I don't know how much Idaho, not just Boise State, but Idaho owes Gene Blameyer for making that decision. But he helped define, again, not just a team, not just a university, but maybe the state.
Well, probably need to get Lyle Smith's name on the stadium somehow and Gene's name on the field. Right now you have Lyle Smith Field. Bobby Dye was a defensive.
That'd actually kind of be I see where you're coming from there. That would actually be kind of cool.
Gene B was the fall guy for the violations, but that were the Big Macs, the recruits crashing on the players' couches, which we found out about, earlier on BNN After Dark, some of the guys that were involved in that.
I just can't believe if the setting was now, like, I just feel like that.
Well, no, now
that
you
would
just have to put out a tweet for McDonald's, and you can have as much McDonald's as you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Just crazy how much that circumstance would probably change. I mean, I get that. I get it wasn't like the violations they were committing. It was kind of how they were committing them. That was the catch. But still, it's crazy to me that. I mean, guy basically lost his job over that, and Boise State was heavily penalized for it.
Yeah, well, that'll be tonight, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony down at Boise State. I'm not sure if they're planning to stream that or if they'll have probably some videos of all the induction speeches or something coming up on social media later.
I wish I know that, hey, COVID messed everything up and they're just doing what they can.
You wish this were in April or May?
I wish it was not during football season because I mean, we got state quarterfinal playoffs for high school football tonight. We got a big Boise State game tomorrow. I mean,
yep.
Despite the fact of the emails we get where certain people think we have this entire fleet of humans that go out and cover all this stuff, it's really one or two of us, and that's it. So it just makes it that much more time makes it that much more difficult to cover something like this and pay tribute the way that you'd want to. When it's earlier in the year, when basketball's over, football hasn't started yet, it's so easy to stand there and go through interviews and stuff. It's just really difficult time of year for this to happen.
Well, 4 to 5, we'll be watching live on KTVB and all the various websites and YouTube channels. We appreciate your time today, Jay.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I got one more thing.
Yes, sir. See, your wife and kid are gone. You're not rushing to get off.
Exactly. I got my little girl's out banging on the window.
Jay's bat's bring it up this week, folks.
I want to say thank you for paying up to your bet last week. The third down conversions of 2.5 for the entire game for Colorado State was well under. They only got one. I know that you will argue that, but so will I.
And the final stats they won. That's fine.
The final stats sheet says one. So what can we do this week? BYU is averaging a little over 150 yards per game on the ground, right? I'm going to let you set the line. And I want you to think you feel good about it too. So
I'm thinking with the I'd rather go passing yards since we spent the whole show talking about passing yards, but we can go rushing yards. The problem is if it's raining, if it's cold, they're probably going to try to run the ball a little more. It's 150. Ooh. It's 150 is what they usually. I'll take under.
Well, I'm gonna let you set the line though.
Let's go 250 and I'll take under.
250. Wait. 250.
I mean, what? No, I mean, whatever they average. If they normally average it, are we going to go over under what their season
I want another drink out of you, and I'm going to set it at 95, and I'm going to say they go under.
Well, there's rumors that we may be getting together to watch Monday Night Football, so maybe the drink can be something other than your whatever weird flavor you like of that energy drink. But
so again,
let's go 155.5.
No, man, I want you to take the over. What does the line have to be for you to take the over on BYU's rushing?
I don't want to be rooting for BYU. I felt weird already rooting for third down conversions in the press box. I actually made like an audible gasp when the guy dropped the ball that was right across the first down. I'm like, what am I doing here?
Okay, BYU averages 150, 95 rushing yards. Will you take the over for BYU?
95?
95.
Oh, man. Sure. Why not? Sure. I'll take over.
95. BYU's going to go under.
I'll take over 95 rushing yards. Why not? It's going to be bad weather.
That's a low number, man. That's a low number.
It's probably they're going to rush for like 44 or something.
Hey, you're right though. With the weather,
I'll take over. Why not?
With the weather, I didn't really factor in the weather. With the weather,
somebody said it might be out of here by tomorrow at game time. I haven't looked that closely into the.
Hopefully, I didn't take weather into account. If it's rainy or windy, that could be an awful line on my part. But I just think that Boise State's run defense is still going to get it done. It will be a new challenge without George Tarlas out there. We know he's not going to be there. I think we can all kind of Scott Matlock's injury. He was out there lifting Jonah Dalmas in the air and stuff. It feels like there's video.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to explain this very carefully, BJ, so that I don't violate anything. There's video of him at practice this week, And
does that mean he's practicing?
It means that if a guy's wearing a yellow non-contact jersey, we are not allowed to video that gentleman, right? And so in this specific case, we were allowed to video the gentleman. And so we're allowed to do that, then.
By the way,
yeah.
Blue Elvis says we need to have the bet on the number of over/under on personal fouls or unsportsmanlike penalties for BYU.
I like it. 7.
All right, so we'll go 95. 95. Let's go 95 and a half. So there's no tie.
Ooh, I was okay. All right.
95 and a half, and or I guess we should go down to 94 and a half to benefit me.
Nope, 95 and a half. You said it.
All right, we'll go 95 and a half. I'll take the over just for fun. With a adult beverage on the line. We'll just say that. So
perfect.
Appreciate it, Jay. Thanks for your time, man.
All right, bud. See you tomorrow.
There he is, 4 o'clock. Make sure you're listening to Jay Tust over at KTVB for the pregame show, and you can watch him tonight on the news as well. Hey, come on by the James. We want to see you tomorrow. We're trying to sign up new folks for the YouTube channel. I want to give away this cruiser bike. I would love to give it away to you if you're a paying subscriber because you get 2 entries. So we're going to have a little bucket. We're going to probably be down in front of the James or close to it tomorrow. We may have a little tent out there in front, and we're going to see how things are going. But if you're parking somewhere, if you're in the tailgate parking lot, just walk on over and enter. It's all you got to do. Come check out the James. Walk on over. Show us on your phone that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you get to enter. And tomorrow night on the postgame show, we are giving away this bike. If you're at the postgame show, you can take it home with you. If not, I'll meet up with you Monday or Tuesday, and we'll get the bike to you. So it's a really nice bike. We appreciate all of our friends over at Stein Distributing for helping us get this bike and providing it for us. So Stein Distributing, Cutwater Canned Cocktails. Make sure you check them out. But you just got all you have to do to enter is stop by the James. We'll be there probably starting at about 2:30 or so. And you show us you're a YouTube subscriber, and that puts you into the pot. And then if you're a paying subscriber, you get 2 entries as well. So rain or shine, we will be at the James tomorrow. If it's raining, you can still stop inside to the indoor part. We'll be in there, and looking forward, again, to having folks come say hello. And, again, Corey Hall will be joining us on the pregame show. We'll have Corey Hall, about 3:30. And then Kent Riddle, of course, will be back for the postgame show. So we'll be having a lot of fun tomorrow at our unofficial headquarters, the James Kitchen and Bar. So hopefully you will come join us tomorrow to try and win this Bud Light Seltzer Cruiser bike. That's a sweet looking bike there, man. And again, all you have to do is go to YouTube. Most of you are probably already watching this on YouTube, but you just go to youtube.com/Bronco Nation News, or you just click subscribe if you're already watching this on YouTube, and that's the easiest way. Hey, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. We appreciate them. Go check them out, the official bank of Bronco Nation News, all the online banking. It's just so easy. I went in to sign up for my account, and I've never gone back into the branch again. You can do it all on your phone and your computer. It's so easy. Idaho Central Credit Union, what are you waiting for? Make the switch today like Bronco Nation News did, like the Raines family did. You can sign up, get more information, ICCU.com. We got Row Paint as well, rowpaint.com. Make sure you check them out, the official paint and coatings company at Boise State Athletics. And again, if you're in the Twin Falls area, come on, support the sponsors, help us out, let them see that their advertising is working in the Twin Falls area. They're offering an amazing special right now. It is 23% off. 23% off. All you have to do is use that promo code BNN Twin 23, BNN Twin 23, and you get 23% off your order from our friends at rowpaint.com. So what are you waiting for? Check them out. We appreciate rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. They got some amazing deals going on, and we appreciate them. We also appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise, our title sponsor on the pre- and post-game shows. We'll have the Lithia Ford of Boise pre-game show, the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show tomorrow, and we are really, really looking forward to that, and we appreciate Lithia Ford of Boise for all their support of Bronco Nation News. The season of snow and ice is on the way. It's actually started today, but trips to the slopes or driving the kids to school shouldn't feel like risky business. Say yes to adventure this winter with an all-wheel drive vehicle from Lithia Ford of Boise. Show Mother Nature who's the boss in an all-wheel drive model like the Ford Escape, the Ford Edge, the Ford Bronco, the Ford Explorer, and more. You can choose the model, the color, the trim level, all the options that best suit your wintertime needs. Your Ford your way. You can order today at lifttheaffordboise.com or, again, stop by that showroom there on Fairview Avenue in Boise. So that'll about wrap it up unless we have any final comments or things. I'm not really in a huge hurry, but we don't need to keep it rolling if nobody else is interested in keeping it rolling. But big one tomorrow for Boise State. Looking forward to it. Again, we got some content at BroncoNationNews.com. The women's basketball team has an exhibition tonight, so make sure you go check out the women's basketball team. They're playing the College of Idaho at 6:30. We got a nice story up on the website from Brandon Walton talking about Mary Kay Narrow. Her grandfather is Rick Adelman, the NBA Hall of Fame coach, and a nice connection there. A nice story about her, how Rick Adelman had an influence on Mary Kay Narrow and what she's doing at Boise State. So the women's team is in action tonight. You can read that story at BroncoNationNews.com. Also got two stories up fresh on the site, one on JL Skinner and kind of his impact on the defense, despite maybe the statistics not showing him having a great year. And then also what we just talked about for the show, the pass defense. That's something that I looked at, and Boise State's going to get a big test from that pass defense going up against the passing offense of BYU on the Blue tomorrow night at 5:00. So appreciate all of our sponsors. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Having a lot of fun with this thing. We're going to keep it rolling. So far, we're 4 for 4 in sponsors I've met with returning for year 2. So that's a good sign that they're feeling like their investment is worth it to this point. So hopefully you guys are supporting all of our sponsors, telling them that you're hearing their advertising on Bronco Nation News. It really does help. It really does mean a difference. So we appreciate that. And I do have a couple more gift cards. Where did I put them? Right here. We got a few more gift cards here. So if you're on the fence, I can take care of you. A $25 gift card to the Blue and Orange store and Pro Image if you just sign up at BroncoNationNews.com for a year subscription. 1 year subscription is $70. You get a $25 gift card to go get Boise State gear. That makes it $45. What a deal. It's less than $1 a week. So this is a limited time offer until it's gone. We're up over 600 subscribers now, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So if you want to do that and get access to the exclusive content, extra entries in the contests and things we're doing, and then the After Dark show, BNN After Dark, that's a subscriber-only show on Wednesday nights. And we got some other big-time guests coming up on that show as well, if Jerron Johnson and Doug Martin and George Iloka weren't enough in recent weeks. So hopefully you're checking out BroncoNationNews.com. Consider that subscription. I'll get the Blue and Orange store gift card in the mail. Yeah, you're coming on late, I guess. I guess you're coming on late because we just talked about that. I purchased it and gave it to him at the press conference on Monday. So, yes, I paid up as soon as possible, and I even put the drink in the freezer for a little bit because I knew it was going to sit out for a while, and it was nice and cold when I gave it to Jay on Monday. So, yes, I did. It was a cherry limeade Rain Rockstar Rain energy drink is what he wanted, and, yes, I paid up the very next time I saw him. So, of course, I paid up. And if you're paying attention, we have another bet on this Saturday's game. It is 95.5 rushing yards for BYU. I'm taking the over just because I think that it's going to be rainy and they're not going to be able to pass a lot and they're going to have to run. So I'm taking the over, but I still think this is a game Boise State can win. But I'm taking over. Jay's taking under 95.5 rushing yards for BYU, and that is the bet for this week. So appreciate all of you guys for checking us out. Would love to see some of you stop by at the James tomorrow. Again, even if you're in the parking lot tailgating, just walk over and sign up and enter to win that bike. We'd love to see you. We'll be at the James probably from about 2:30 until 4 or so, 2 to 4, maybe. Let's say 2 to 4. We'll be over there. And then again, after the game, of course, as well, we'll be there. So appreciate you. Appreciate all of our great sponsors. And again, our live pregame show about 3:30 will be with Corey Hall stopping by. So if you want to meet Corey Hall, Boise State Hall of Famer, come on by. He'll be at the James about 3:15 tomorrow. So come on by 3:15, meet Corey Hall. And looking forward to that. So we'll have you covered all day tomorrow with Boise State coverage. Big one against BYU as the Broncos try to keep things rolling. We'll have our game day preview and some other content out later today at BroncoNationNews.com. So have a great rest of your day. If news breaks, as always, we'll hop back on here with another show. If not, we'll talk to you live 3:30, 3:15, somewhere after in that range from the James with the Lift the Afford of Boise pregame show. So have a great day. We appreciate you for checking us out, and we'll talk to you later. Go subscribe, Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.